Hello friends from Beatport, this is Faraone from my studio in Florence. Today I'm here to talk about my new upcoming release on One Edge Society. The name of the EP is Stage Capture. This is a very important release for me because it's the third release I'm doing on this label from Brooklyn. And I actually opened the label from the 001. And so this is really important for me to be back on the label after a long time. So today we are going to talk about two tracks. The first track is Stage Capture, which is the A1 of the EP, and then we're going to talk about Modular Day, which is a completely different track made with synthesizers, and it has a completely different structure from the previous one. So let's start listening to the track, to the first one, and then I'm going to explain a little bit how did I create the sounds and the vocal and everything. First of all, I want to introduce a little bit my setup in the studio. This is a Midas Venice F24, which is my main control, my main mixer. Where I have connected all my synthesizers coming, as you can see, I have many synthesizers in the studio like the Nordlead, Mood Voyager, Virus, and even my MPC 1000, which is a very important part of the studio for creating dirty and raw grooves. Sadly, I'm missing my SH 101, which is a friend of mine is repairing it. But I mean, the main part of the studio is here. So let's start working on listening to the track, and then I'm going to explain a little bit more.
Capture, second, capture, capture, second stage, capture, 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 second stage, capture, 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 second stage, capture.
The track, it's quite simple, and I even had projects where I had like 40 channels open. This track, in this case, it's very simple, very minimal, very effective, and it doesn't have so many sounds. At the moment I see like 13 channels open, which is not much comparing to my other tracks. But you know, sometimes happen that you're just lucky and you find out a couple of samples that they fit good together and they create a good vibe from the beginning. Sometimes happens, sometimes not. You just need to be lucky sometimes with the music. But I mean, this time I was just jamming out with some drums, some samples and whatever, and the idea came out like in 5 minutes, you know, so it was really fast. And and then of course I started working on it, and as you can hear, there is a part of drums and there is a vocal, which is me talking.
Second stage, capture. Capture.
talking about this track, I just want to explain a little bit how did I create the sounds. Normally for the drums, I'm using my main drum machines are the 909, the 808, and I'm using also this Akai Rhythm Wolf, which is very raw and very. The sound is really dirty and powerful, and yeah, I mean those are the three main drums that I'm using. Of course, I'm processing the sound, every sound with some effects. So, like in this case, I have this. Let's listen to this loop, for example. Okay, as you can hear, this is like the loop behind everything. This is like the main groove, the main groove of the track. So I just produced this loop with my 909, and it's a combination of hi-hats together, and I normally use two different ways of saturating the samples. For example, the first way I'm using is this pedal from Boss. It's a distortion it's called DS1, and actually it's really simple to use. You just need to pass by the sample into it and get out, and you have like distortion, overdrive, whatever. It's really simple to use, and you can get a very good effect on the drums. Or I'm using this plugin from D16, which is like one of the most important plugins I'm using for processing the sounds. And I have two plugins. One is called Decimort and one is called Devastator. So for example, let's put the Decimort on this loop. If I change the preset, you can easily understand that the sound is changing and it's getting more saturated or affected, whatever. You hear? So, and it depends on the sound that I have and the result that I want to get, and the rawness that I want to get to the track. So I just put this kind of plugins or using the analog effects to modulate the sound. I never keep the sound clean or how it sounds from the machine. So this is a very important part of my process to work on samples, and I use them on hi-hats, on drums, on toms, even on the kick sometimes. You know, if I really need like a punching hard kick that comes like hard, I need to process it and compress it and make it sounds lower and warm. So this is the process I'm using for on this track, and this is stage capture. Of course, the vocal is this is one of the most important part of the track. The vocal, this one.
Stage capture.
Okay. This is the box.
Capture. Capture.
It's like a cut.
Capture. 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 Second stage capture.
Okay. This vocal is me talking, so it's quite easy and very effective and repetitive. This is something that I really like on techno tracks. Basically, I use this effect called TC Helicon. This is very nice for creating vocals and effecting vocals. It has so many effects and preset, reverbs, delays, and whatever. So, for example, if I take my microphone, yes, and I try to speak in it,
It's like second stage capture.
well, I'm the worst saving presets, because when I speak on a microphone and I find the right effect, I just record it on the track, you know. I don't need then to save the preset and find it back, you know. In this case, I'm doing like this small introduction about the track, so sadly I didn't save it. But for example, if I scroll down through the preset,
Second stage capture. And I go down.
yes,
Oh yeah, yes. I have so many effects, you know, that you can use on the vocals. Like, for example, this one. For example, this one.
Or maybe something with a delay, like
Yes.
as you can hear, I have like so many effects here. So
Second stage capture. Second stage capture.
this is kind of similar, not the same, but similar.
And so, as you can see, with this effect,
With this effect, I can easily like even take loops of some parts that I need to record and drop in the track with a beat. So for example,
second stage capture, second stage capture, second stage capture,
recorded,
second stage capture,
you know,
second stage capture, second stage capture,
and then you can put like
second stage capture, second stage capture, second stage capture.
so this is just a loop that I took, like, you know, it's really simple to use, and you can just pick in a microphone, say something, record it, and see if it works with the track together, and then drop the sample in and work on it. So this is basically how did I create this track and the tricks. So next, let's skip to the next one. The next one is called Modular Day. It's a completely different track in the structure. But first of all, I want to show you how do I work with the melodies. How do I create patterns using like my my sequencer, my analog sequencer. So let's see this this loop, for example. This is a project I was working on. So, for example, this is a sequence that I recorded. It's just a synthesizer. So, for example, I want to control a VST or a plugin or a synthesizer, an external synthesizer. What I'm doing most of the times, trying to create some crazy melodies and constructions or arpeggiators or whatever. I'm using this dark time, which is a sequencer, yeah, from Doppler. It's very easy to use, and you can just make random patterns, random melodies, go up, down with the notes, muting notes, and whatever. And I like it because it's different than writing MIDIs on the computer. With this one, you can really jam out and create melodies so quick. So let me show you how do I work with it. For example, okay. So now, as you can see, it's sounding like. Let's take out all the skip notes. Let's put everything on. There is a note that is off, so I need to find out which. Okay. For example, so this is something like it's going random. Give like MIDI inputs from these notes, and you can then record it, send the MIDI to Ableton, and then write the MIDI from this one. It's incredible. I mean, I'm using this sequencer to command every single machine in the studio. It's so much fun. like a melody I made in like maybe 1 minute. It's very easy to use, and this is how did I create the pattern of my next track, which is Modular Day. I'm going to show you the project. Modular Day is the main synth that I will show you now. It's created with my Moog Voyager, which is one of the best synthesizers I ever bought in my life. Of course, everybody of you know it. And I just create a melody with my sequencer, and then I just send the MIDI to the Moog Voyager, and then I recorded this crazy sound. This one. Let me show you. This is the main sound of the track Modular Day on the same EP. Show you everything together, how it sounds. I skip a little bit. Explain what did I do to create this track. Sometimes to make empty moments where the sound goes down and the kick comes in, you know? It's like something that I'm always doing in almost every track. So I already told you I did create the pattern of the synthesizer and coming from my Moog Voyager. I want to talk a little bit about the drums. Okay, the drums of this track are really special because all of them are coming from my Akai MPC 1000, which is one of the most legendary machines that you can see, that you can have. It's very particular because the filter of this machine is kind of unique. You can really make jams using this filter and filtering drums, creating like some crazy jams. Let me show you how did I work with this, for example, on this loop. Let me check, for example, here. Okay, this is the hi-hat. is another hi-hat. Okay. There is like a filter opening up and going down, you know? As you can hear, the sound is really kind of modulated. And this is something that I did with the MPC, which is, of course, you can do it with Helicon, but the way that MPC sounds, it's, in my opinion, completely different sometimes, and you can really fit the sound in a different way in the track. So, all the drums I saved, I mean the kick, it's really raw, really punchy, and still coming, it's a sample coming from the MPC as well. This is the main sound from the Moog Voyager, again. Toms. This is like the, let's say, the bass line behind it, like behind the kick, to make the groovy. And yes, I mean, this is like a completely different track in the structure. You have a melody, you have the sound, the synthesizers and everything, the dirtiness in the track, and this is the way I really love to modulate the sounds. So, guys, this EP is going to be out in a few days on Beatport, of course, and then you can find it on vinyl as well, on One Edge Society Records. This is Marco Faraone from my studio. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you very soon. Bye.